April ni som pakwa sang ni som ni parukan ni hey Trump chuan in Iranin deal min siam pui du lawan ni chuan Iran ram pum pui hi ka bom dar vek don ni aron tile to ni hi a warning thar berani ya a pui don kan reaction ha lang.
We're back with the Fox News Alert. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Ing's just speaking with President Trump and has the latest from Tel Aviv. Trey, what can he tell us and what did the president have to say?
Oh, tuna hepa hi aron engmon iron soido ni hepa hi Trump atin anin bezo deu chi ani na langa tuna hianin hepa hi ha Tel Aviv Israel o mekani.
Yeah guys, good morning. I just spoke with President Trump for about 20 minutes and he
minutes som ni vel anin bia
told me if Iran does not sign this deal, the whole country is getting blown up.
Iran hianin he deal hi an pom mani lo chuanin an ram pum pui hi apok dar vek do ni eti ni tuna hianin ka hriat sual lo chuanin US IO tele Iran IO te hi Pakistan a inbele turin anin ruam han chomek ni na lang.
He went on to say that bridges and power plants will be targeted if Iran does not sign this agreement.
He agreement hi Iran lampang hian an pom lo ani chuanin leipoi mo tak tak le energy siam chuana ang chi te kha khang kha kan bom don ani atita ni Trump hian mo a serious talk khop mai tun trum chu.
President telling me that US Special Envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are heading to Islamabad, Pakistan.
Adik chia ka sia dang ha dik chia US IO te tunai hian in Pakistan lampangin an kal
for meetings on Tuesday, possibly into
Carle Tuesday anin bedon
Wednesday to try and get this agreement across the finish line. The president telling Fox News this is a very simple deal, but this is the
he deal hi simple ta kaniya Iran lampang hian an sign du don nge don lo wa thui ta ka in hat to ne ti ni
last chance for the Iranians.
Iran tan chuanin tu na mi hi last chance ani to ani ti Trump an mo pui rem rem khop mai.
The president very clear in our conversation that he is not making the same mistake that President Obama made.
Obama ina thila lo ti sual to ang kha ke chuanin ka ti sual ve don lo ti in Trump an so yene
giving cash to the Iranians and allowing them to continue a nuclear program.
Obama khanin Iran ten hena khanin poisa te lo pe ya khang poisa pe ka wang khanin Iran lampang hianin a nuclear program te po an lo chun zomin an lo bo zui the ni khang ang thil ti sual lian lutuk ang chi kha ke chuanin ti ve ka tum lo ti in Trump hian a so
The
yene
deal on the table is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz
tuna di la hianin an ngai poimo zual te chu Strait of Hormuz hong le turte
to ensure that the Iranians do not have this highly enriched uranium that is
Iran lampang hianin enriched uranium nuclear al thuam siam na ta na poimo de mai an nei enge khatiang ang enriched uranium kha an nei turani lo ti te
buried deep underground after Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. And again, the president telling Fox News that the entire country will be blown up. Bridges and power plants will be targeted if the Iranians do not sign this agreement.
He agreement hi an sign lawan i chuanin Iran rama an lei poimo tak tak le an power siam chuan te kan bom chevek do ni ti in Trump an soya.
This is a significant development because we are in this less than 72-hour window before the ceasefire between the United States and Iran expires.
Tun hun hi apoi mo em mani Iran ina an sign le sign lo hi mo an chan chu hemi in ka hai an puan hi darkar som sari pahni chia to ani darkar som sari pahni azo to chuanin in ka hai puan zowa chu wang chuanin an in do chun zom le mai theian extend te ni lo chuan Israel lampang te po an lo in ring chowin ka hria hemi in ka hai puan azo huna deal siam ani lo pal ta khan Israel lampang po an lo in ring chow le mek nin a hriat.
And the president has given the Iranians an opportunity for an off-ramp, an olive branch. He is extending to the Iranian regime to avoid this region going back into war. And the
Trump hianin Iran lampang hi offer pe ani Indo na he Middle East atlen to lo na turatan hianin Trump hian offer pe
the president said the United States military is prepared. He said the U.S. has massive amounts of ammunition, even better munitions than they had in the opening days of Operation Epic Fury.
Operation Epic Fury chantir ai po khanin tunai hianin ral thuam kan nei thato jok tin Trump achona soya he Iran tan zonin warning ngoi ani
to use against the Iranian regime to target a variety of different positions across their country.
Iran ram hun sanga mun poimo tak tak sipai mun poimo tak tak te poniang enriched uranium anda thatna lein hoi thuk tak anda thatna te poniang khang kha US lampang hianin du phot chuanin an target le theido ni in Trump ana
they are
soya
not willing to make this good faith deal. And again, he tells Fox News that his special envoys are headed to the Middle East. and they are going to try and get this deal across the finish line. But this is in the hands of the Iranians if they are willing to make a good faith agreement. And if they are not, the president has indicated there will be significant strikes against the Iranian regime.
Tuna hianin US lampang chuan tiang hianin thei top kan chua deal thatak Iran siam pui kan dua Iran ku ta in hat to ani Iran lampang hian he deal hi an sign du lo ani chuan action kan la don siang ani anti to ani apui don khop mai
In response if this diplomatic effort does not succeed. Guys?
Trey, in your conversation with the president, it hasn't been talked much about lately, but there has been focus on Karg Island because of its strategic proximity to 90% of
Karg Island chung chang so yang to na
crude oil goes through there. Did the president raise, I know he's talked to you about bridges and power plants, but what about the oil infrastructure?
Oil infrastructure chan chu Trump chuan in nge power siam chuana infrastructure ang chi kha kan ti chiang ati amaro chu nge oil and process na lampang kha engve nge kondi anti ni
The president talked about the Strait of Hormuz and these violations of the ceasefire that were conducted by the Iranians yesterday.
Iran lampang kha ning ka hayam puan kha an bo che ti in Trump chuan na soya athin rim khop mai ni an chan chu Iran lampang khan an in do long te mang khan khang Strait of Hormuz pal chang tum tu long te kha an lo be chiam maya kha in ka hai an puan bo chet na lian tak ani ti in Trump chuan in Iran lampang kha adem hle ani
President Trump telling me about how they're using these small vessels to fire on ships in the Strait of Hormuz, but they're just using small ammunition. And despite the fact that they're not doing much damage, it's an indication that they are violating the ceasefire. And then the question is, well, why are they not doing much damage? And that is because more than 150 Iranian vessels are currently at the bottom of the sea.
long tereu te mang khanin Iran si pai te chuanin khang oil phur long te bungro phur long te kha an be ve a amaro chu khang an long an va be te kha an ti che over thailo ani an ti che na salu tuk thailo chiat na stak an va thlen thailo khang vai gan ti chuan Iran indo long tam jok hi za som nga chuang hi tuna chuanin ka pil sak vek an ni to tuna chuanin long tereu te he silai mu pang ngai mang khan long lian pui kha an va ka pil chu har ve wang.
During Operation Epic Fury, the United States hammered the Iranian Navy, and they had prepared for a possible confrontation with the United States, but not enough because the U.S.
Operation Epic Fury tir lamang hanin United States lampang chuanin Iran indo long tam tak kha an ka pil sak vek kha US thil tum ve hrim ania
was so successful in these strikes that much of the Navy vessels the Iranians had prepared were not able to be used.
Iran lampang po khanin United States Navy te na indo tumril ru deuh khanin Iran lampang khan an Navy te kha an lo buat sa evena sa ni an lo puat sa an lo import sa evena sa khop mai amaro chu Epic Fury Operation Epic Fury tir lama khan kateng khan thil kha Iran terin lo dan deuh khan a thleng ta sia chu wang chuanin Iran lampang hianin an Navy te manga US Navy te han dolet kha an thei to si lawa an rin a in le an duang pon Strait of Hormuz an control tha thei lo.
And that is the reason that they have to use these smaller vessels to threaten international shipping lanes.
Kha wang hanin tuna hianin long te mang khanin heng Strait of Hormuz bungro phurlong lian tak te hi kha bungro phurlong lian tak te kha khatiang han lo va be ve thidani.
And again, this speaks to the success of Operation Epic Fury and just the inability of the Iranian regime to even respond and to violate the ceasefire in this manner.
Operation Epic Fury hi a hlotling thokhat aron tia khang zong awang han amar zu kan hriat ve tur chu Iran hi an tlom du bik mi lo ni Operation Epic Fury kha a hlotling lo kan ti lo a hlotling lo tuk USA kha chona thil ti tum zong kha chu ativek amar chu Iran lampang hi an tlom du lo lai tak hi US tan po hian in tlem chonin a bui thak ve te wang.
And so that is one of the key pillars of this broader agreement that President Trump is demanding the Iranian regime sign. They are going to keep open the Strait of Hormuz. They are
tuna deal an siam tur tuna Islamabad pana USIO te kalmek turina an thil ti tumber lian tak pakhat chu Strait of Hormuz an hongreng turani
going to release that highly enriched uranium that is buried deep underground in the
le noi thuk taka highly enriched uranium nuclear ral thum siamna ta na poimo tak mai kha khang kha Iran lampang hian in US nen an hlan turani
aftermath of those US strikes last summer, and they're going to stop threatening US forces across the region.
Middle East ram sang United States sipai omte hi Iran lampang hian in voi khatma anti boy to turani lo.
President tells me, or the Iranians are going to pay a heavy price, and that
khang deal an sign du lo ni chuanin Iran hian in aturang
price is going to come at their power plants, their bridges, and the remaining infrastructure belonging to the Iranian regime. The president said right now there is a divide between the hardliners and the more moderate.
President Chuan Trump pa chuanin tunah hianin Iran ah hianin inlungrol lo na awma extreme de wan awma a moderate an bawk ani hetiani
Within the Iranian political leadership that remains. Remember, in the opening strikes of Operation Epic Fury, the United States and Israel took out the command structure of the Iranian regime.
Operation Epic Fury ti lama hanin US na Israel te chuanin Iran regime an ho tu poimo ang kha an tha saka
Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, was taken out in an airstrike along.
mase bitam tak soida na chuanin supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei an tha ta kha afapa ai khanin a moderate zo an ti tunah hian afapa hi a extreme zo kan ti Khamenei a thar himo
With his top advisors. The Iranians were in disarray in these moments after Operation Epic Fury began because they were hit even harder than anyone in.
khang thira thleng nu khanin tunah hianin Irana an politics ram shoi tu te zia hianin tlem chuanin divide in nung rol lo na chuam ve deu ani a then an extreme em a then chuanin a khatiang lu tu ka ngai lo we ti pol te khan oma a poi mo bera chuanin tunah hianin Islamabad Pakistan a indor na nei le turin Iran ayo le US ayo te an kal le mek don ni na langa chuta chuanin Iran lampang hianin deal hi an sign du lo ani chuan United States te hianin in do chun zomin hetiang hianin Iran hi an be chun zom le don ni in alang ta ani ole a video kha toy si kim si nga kan han react thei chu ani video le kanin mule theu don ne